Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Taurus November 2017 horoscope forecast. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Well, anyway, people, first thing is, as far as November goes, the Sun will be in Scorpio from the 1st to the 22nd. So the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. Now, given that this could be about something, a strong focus, perhaps on investigation, maybe digging deep in matters connected with relationships, partnership situations, a very strong focus perhaps on things that are non-superficial in these matters. And also, it can be digging deep even with open adversaries as well, and being investigative and really approaching these matters with a lot of Scorpio inner fortitude. And anyway, as far as November goes, the Sun will be in Sagittarius from the 22nd to the 30th. So for Taurus, the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So this could be a focus on perhaps maybe expansion, perhaps through maybe astrology, 8th house matters, psychology, expanding horizons in 8th house matters. This could be also focus on strong expansive energy, enthusiasm, and exuberance in 8th house matters such as astrology, the supernatural, the occult, sex even, maybe even transformation. It could be going beyond and going outside the box, so to speak, in order to expand and transform and make a major change. And also being very positive and optimistic even in crisis situations. So anyway, well, the full moon in Taurus will take place on November 4th, and of course the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So Taurus might be maybe full, so to speak, of maybe something going on with their physical body, their appearance, and maybe it's enough is enough, it reaches a boiling point and culmination, and it could be where maybe Taurus decides to do something to positively affect their physical body, because if they're tired of something connected with it, such as maybe working out vigorously. It could even be a Taurus-like issue with a Taurus-like part of the body, I should say, like something with the throat, maybe something where Taurus has been procrastinating on, a Taurus health matter needs to come in, it really needs to be attended to, and it's the time for procrastination is basically going to be over, I think, for many Taurus people as far as this goes. So it also could be, I mean, it could be a time where Taurus maybe is also is tired of maybe a monetary situation and really expresses this very outwardly, since we're talking about the first house. So anyway, and this is really, I mean, this is really a time too where I want to get into the new moon in Scorpio. Okay, the new moon in Scorpio is going to take place on November 18th. So for Taurus, the 7th house, of course, is what is emphasized and highlighted. So this could be perhaps something new Taurus embarks on, maybe in a partnership level, or maybe with a significant other, and it might be something to Scorpio related, such as astrology, the occult, supernatural, whatever it is. It's not likely to be superficial. It could be something very deep, and really it could be something provocative and something that is done with maybe someone in a business partnership, or could be somebody, a significant other. It also could be, in some cases, it could be a new legal situation maybe coming up, which really it could be something where they have to show a lot of that Scorpio inner fortitude and this courage. I mean, that could be something that could come up as well, and it could be something where it's really a very intense and powerful situation as well, if it is something legal, or in some cases on a real negative side, it could be a new open adversary. In some cases, could it be a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant? It could be, but it could also be it could be just somebody that maybe embodies those Scorpio-like characteristics, somebody that's just very powerful, has indomitable spirit, has a lot of jealousy and a lot of passion, could be somebody that's very vengeful. So anyway, well, as far as November goes, Mercury will be in Scorpio from the 1st to the 5th, and the 7th house is what will be highlighted and emphasized for Taurus. So at this time, well, Taurus might have a lot of communications with a significant other, with somebody maybe in a business partnership with. It could be with others in general, but it's really the communications can be very incisive, very provocative, very deep. It could be about matters connected with Scorpio, such as astrology, the supernatural, the occult, crime, forensics. I mean, it could even be, I mean, subversive activity. You're just talking about, just things that are Scorpio related. And it could also be a time too where, I mean, you're having, Mercury, and you're talking about Scorpio and the 7th house. It could be dealings with really intense legal issues as well for some Taurians at this time, and the ones that are in the communications with people and maybe with attorneys that are very intense, and really in ones that are definitely not really, it's not about talking about frivolous matters. It could be very serious and intense matters at this time, and you might find that maybe even a significant other or somebody that might be in a business partnership with might be more talkative and loquacious during this time, and maybe talking about various Scorpio-like subjects. So anyway, well, as far as November goes, Mercury will be in Sag from the 5th to the 30th. So for Taurus, the 8th house, of course, is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time for Taurus, well, it could be about a lot of really blunt, I guess you could say outspoken, forthright communications, maybe with the sexual partner, with somebody that you're in an intimate relationship with. It could be very open discussions regarding death, ones where you're not really mincing words or holding back, and also maybe philosophical communications about 8th house matters, things of a psychological nature. It could even be things connected with astrology, the occult, supernatural, making major changes and talking very positively about it with a lot of optimism, and really, and that could be what this could be about for Taurus at this time. Now, as far as November goes, Venus will be in Libra from the 1st to the 7th. So the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So this could be a time for Taurus where Taurus, if unattached, may meet a significant prospective significant other relationship, perhaps at work or someone in their daily routine. It could be somebody that they want to have a very peaceful relationship with, and somebody that is strongly maybe connected with intellectual sociability, and that you could bounce the ideas off each other. Could also be that this could be a more fortuitous time maybe for money gained at work. I mean, we all make money when we're working, we're in a place of employment, but because you're talking about Venus in the 6th house, it could be a more positive time. Maybe there could be a raise of some kind for Taurus, wherein Taurus might feel that it's, of course, very fair and equitable, whatever it is that they're getting. So anyway, well, as far as November goes, well, Venus will be in Scorpio from the 7th to the 30th, and the 7th house is what is emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So this could be a time where maybe Taurus might be getting some money coming in for maybe a legal issue being settled. It could be perhaps it might even be where you might express a very strong enjoyment, maybe of things that are deep, that are not superficial with the significant other, maybe in matters in a partnership situation. This could also be, I mean, keep in mind the seventh house is about our open adversary. So this could be something where maybe money comes from something of a legal issue with an open adversary, perhaps. This could be too that, I mean, there might be some, I mean, in some cases might be some enjoyment connected with some manipulation and some guile, which might be you might use to perhaps combat open enemies or open adversaries. So anyway, well, the next thing is, well, Mars will be in Libra this month for the whole month. So the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So Taurus might experience maybe some more contentious and acrimonious situations, perhaps at their workplace. This could be too, keep in mind the sixth house is about health. So keep in mind too that this could also be something where an accident maybe could happen through some impulsive moving, and some injury could happen to Taurus at this time. And you're talking about Libra, it could be something with the lower back because of this, like a slip and fall thing and injuring the lower back. Anyway, but keep in mind, since we're talking about Mars and Libra, that even though there might be some contentious situations, maybe with people in your daily routine, people in your place of employment, it could be though too that these people, you might be fighting them with passive aggressiveness. Since we're talking about Libra, it might not be anything real physical combat or any real loud yelling or any boisterous exchanges, but it could be in a way where maybe you're saying something, and then the other person, instead of just outwardly disagreeing, they'll just maybe walk away or not respond to you. So it could be things like that. Now, anyway, Jupiter will be in Scorpio, and the seventh house, of course, is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So this could be luck and fortune for Taurus, perhaps through transformation, through relationships. It could be by Taurus may be creating their own luck by using a lot of inner fortitude and courage, matters connected with open adversaries, with legal situations, by being very passionate in these matters and really showing an indomitable spirit, and not willing and willing to kind of get back up on that horse, so to speak. If being resilient, if something doesn't fall through one time, then try again. If you try for one legal avenue, for example, doesn't work, there might be another legal route to go. And also, this could be a lot of enthusiasm and exuberance in matters connected with partnerships and business partnerships or relationships for that matter, and just could be with others in general. And Taurus might likely expand their social circle at this time, and do so really with a lot of that Scorpio passionate energy. And this could be expansion of relationships that are associated with astrology, the occult, supernatural, things that are deep, even maybe people that are interested in psychology. So, and even and maybe even like forensics and mysteries and things of that nature. So anyway, well, Saturn will be in Sagittarius, and for Taurus, the eighth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So during this time for Taurus, this could be a thing that's maybe gone on for some time with some Tauruses, that there have been certain restrictions, perhaps connected, and maybe difficulties associated with others' resources and a support system. And it might be a time to show that strong, maybe taking responsibility in these matters and showing the strong Sagittarius-like wisdom as far as that goes, and knowing who is actually going to be there to help you. Saturn can be about lessons, and it could be lessons for Taurus, that this is a time where one may have to learn to be more philosophical on eighth house matters, and in transformation, major changes, what needs to be done. At the same time, there can be some restrictions in eighth house areas, such as sex, such as matters with astrology, if this person is, say, an astrologer or doing some work connected with the occult or the supernatural. So, and really, it could be that maybe it could be too for Taurus that maybe, I mean, Sagittarius is not anything on a small level. It could be where Taurus might have to take some responsibility in making, maybe paying some kind of prodigious debt, and it might be coming back on them right now, some past debts for a number of Tauruses that have to be taken care of, such as credit card debts. So anyway, well, Uranus will still be in Aries, and the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So for Taurus, Taurus might experience perhaps some tumult, some chaos in their private life. It might be an unusual need for seclusion at this time for Taurus, more so than usual. Many of you may know I have a Taurus ascendant, and Uranus is currently transiting my 12th house. And I mean, I feel like I'm having more of an unusual need for solitude and seclusion than usual. It also could be that Taurus might be experiencing maybe some unusual, maybe unpredictable things. It could be unpredictable angry, acrimonious situations with others that are in private, that are behind closed doors, so to speak. It could also be a lot of maybe in some cases Taurus might not be, as far as ingenuity goes and originality, it might be a little bit more suppressed at this time as far as anything, pioneering and ingenious. But it might be ready to come out once it goes into, like it hits that first house for Taurus. So I mean, a lot of Taurus people now might be kind of keeping some, or they might just be keeping some of their original ideas in reserve for a little bit longer. So anyway, well, Neptune will still be in Pisces, and the 11th house will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So this could be a time where Taurus might be experiencing some chaos and confusion, maybe in matters with their friends, and might be victims of self-delusion and deception. And even they might have some friends that might be, involved in drugs at this time. Ones that might be involved in drugs and or alcohol. When I'm saying drugs, I'm talking about recreational, illegal drugs. And for Taurus, it's just a time where they really, I think I have to be careful as far as who their friends are, and understanding about duplicity. And really, and a lot of, they might have friends, I mean, this is about self-deception. They might put a lot of their friends on that pedestal, I mean, and really not see them for who they are. I mean, a lot of Taurus people, but when I'm saying Taurus rising, are going to have Pisces on the 11th house cusp. But then you have Neptune in it on top of that. So in a lot of cases, for people that have a Taurus ascendant, are going to have, or even their solar house, they'll have Neptune in it as well. And I mean, by transit. So I mean, it's just it's a period where, I mean, considering Taurus is often, could be the area where Pisces is in the chart, is an area where one could be duped. But when you have Neptune there as well, I mean, you already have Pisces at the 11th house in a lot of cases for people, I mean, in a solar natal chart for Taurus. Then when you're talking about, I mean, Neptune at the 11th house, then you got a double whammy of this possible deception with friends. So it's just something to be careful of, Taurus. So anyway, well, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, of course, and this could be just an ongoing, continual thing, perhaps of some kind of transformation for Taurus. I mean, we're talking about the 9th house is what's emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. It could be, the 9th house could be strongly about, I mean, transformation. I mean, for Taurus, 9th house matters. Transformation through some religious outlook, a new philosophical outlook, that one that's very serious, of course. I mean, we're talking about Capricorn energy. Could also be, keep in mind that, I mean, where Pluto can, where Saturn can restrict and limit, Pluto can flat out obliterate and destroy. So, I mean, you talk about the 9th house, and this could be where Taurus maybe, in some cases, they might wind up giving up on some philosophy, or some belief system they have, but at the same time Pluto is about rebirth, so it could be giving up on one and having another one. And also it could be where Taurus tries to get some power and control back, maybe in higher education, and really it could be where Taurus might feel some transformation, maybe in taking some kind of long journey. In some cases, it could be a business journey, a long journey, considering we're talking about Capricorn. So anyway, well, the North Node will still be in Leo. So the fourth house will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus at this time. So this could be a time for Taurus where the strong focus could be on gregarious energy in the home, maybe attention seeking. It could even indicate a little bit of extravagance where Taurus might have to spend a little bit more money on something home related, but it could be to their benefit ultimately. And it could be by maybe doing some entertaining in the home, getting attention for recognition for home related activities. And it could be too, it might be about Taurus taking pride and dignity and getting in touch with their roots and their traditions. So those are some things to look at this time as far as Taurus goes. Now, the Black Moon Lilith will be in Sagittarius as far as November goes from the 1st until the 9th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So this could be a time where in some cases for Taurus there might be some unveiling of maybe being overly adventurous sexually. It could be maybe some reckless gambling is revealed that maybe winds up, which Taurus winds up in debt and it comes unveiled at this time. In some cases this can be maybe for Taurus, maybe there's some revelation, if you will, maybe of somebody nefarious that they're in an intimate relationship with, somebody that they're maybe in a sexual relationship with. It might be a person that might have some kind of warped philosophical outlook, might come out at this time. So anyway, well, the Black Moon Lilith will be in Capricorn, and as far as November goes, from the 9th to the 30th. So at this time, the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So this could be a time where maybe something comes out of Taurus where Taurus doesn't want revealed or unveiled or what have you. Maybe a real depressive or melancholy philosophical outlook. It could be one of those situations where maybe something comes out with Taurus. Maybe it's something about it could be an in-law even, or a grandchild if applicable. Maybe there's some depression that's unveiled that's connected with one or more or both of these people. This could be something too where maybe something comes out with Taurus as well, that maybe it's just a general maybe outlook that could be rather sad, that maybe they didn't want to come out. Maybe Taurus wanted to give impression that everything's okay, I'm happy, I'm jocular and whatever. Anyway, last but not least, Chiron will still be in Pisces, and the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted for Taurus. So Taurus might be experiencing some wounds and some suffering in connection with friends, maybe their aspirations, objectives, or goals. They could be ones maybe because they're unrealistic. It could be that maybe some friends in some isolated cases might be doing something, drugs and or alcohol, and maybe there's some sorrow connected with Taurus because of this. This could be too that there might be some wounds maybe for Taurus just connected with general confusion and ambivalence over their future and what they want to do. And sometimes with confusion hits, then stagnation hits, and you know how that goes. And then, no decisions, then you miss opportunities, you're not able to capitalize on them. But keep in mind that Chiron, of course, is the wounded healer. And Taurus might be more apt and inclined at this time than usual to do some healing and helping for friends and acquaintances with that Pisces-like compassion, empathy, and self-sacrifice. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Taurus November 2017 horoscope forecast. Stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Gemini November 2017 horoscope forecast. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.